Hey guys, Huzz here bringing you another video and welcome to a big dev update. I will just say I don't think Riot wanted to actually release this when they did. It was actually, let's say, released in China earlier the day that this was out, and it wasn't supposed to be. I think this was supposed to be in the next few days, maybe even next week, but they had to release it obviously when leaks happen. So this is a big update about ranked in general and a big update with items as well in League of Legends. I obviously made my prediction about the item situation about 2 weeks ago. It wasn't a hard prediction to make. Everything kind of was leaning that way, but there is two big things within this that I think are a little bit spicy. So let's get into it. I am also live streaming, so I will be going to the kind of live audience maybe at the end and seeing what the general consensus of a few of the areas are also. But anyway, let's go. So earlier today, we announced that League is shifting to 3 ranked splits next year. So that is the big thing. So right now, we're in a 2 rank split, and this was the first season of them doing 2. They're moving to 3, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But additionally, the large gameplay changes that normally launch during pre-season in November will launch in January instead. The blog will go into why we're making these changes and a few impacts they're going to have on the rest of the year. So those are the two major things when it comes to changes. Items and stuff, I don't even know, do they mention the items here? I don't think so. See, I'll say about the items because apparently it's not in this blog. This is just about the ranked scheduling and ranked changes. So items in League of Legends, Mythics, the category of Mythic is going away. It was a failed experiment. It's been with us now, surprisingly, 2 to 3 years. No one has loved Mythics, and they basically forced 2 things. They forced people to kind of stay in a box a bit too much. But then also, a lot of the time, people are complaining about damage in the game is really, really high. Mythics are a contributor to that. Because one, mythic items are very powerful items. So they immediately give a big boost of damage the moment that you get your first mythic. And secondly, if you look at, like, they give strength and damage to other items. They have mythic passives, which the more legendary items you get, they give them more strength. So everything about mythics was making the game just more powerful, and it was a balanced nightmare. And that's probably why in the last few years, when the introduction of mythics came, the damage has been extra way too big. So hopefully mythics going away will see a big benefit. I'm happy about that. And all I'll say, because obviously they've not mentioned it here, some people are going to be panicking. It's always the way when they do item changes. If you have like a main or a one tricker and you do a very specific build, is that build going to change? Is it going to go away? And the answer is potentially. So Riot have already announced that with Mythics, some of the items are going away. So they just will be deleted. Their items will not continue on in League of Legends. But there's also going to be a portion of mythic items that will stay as items in League of Legends, but will obviously turn into legendaries, just normal completed items. So like, for example, they're not going to keep every tank mythic, and then they're probably, I've already seen hints that they potentially are keeping Heartsteel, but they're probably going to get rid of Yak Show, for example. These are like a few examples that they're going to do. And I overall think it's healthier this way. It lets you build the way you want to, because, there are still people out there that miss building Triforce and Infinity Edge together and all that stuff. In Mythics kind of just stopped that happening. Someone's saying it might be underneath. I might be, or not. I don't know. Removing ranked ladder. It doesn't look like it here, but yeah. But anyway, I'm happy about that overall. Articus Finch 51 tier 1 sub says, hey, how's it going? It's going all right. I might have a sinus infection at the moment, but we are pressing on. But yeah, overall, I'll say about the items, that is a big thumbs up from me. I'm happy about this, and I think hopefully it will make the game easier to balance is the biggest thing that I actually think. The damage should come down naturally when they don't have a mythic tier of item, but I think it was harder to balance. And you have to, like, why is it harder to balance with mythics? Because they are such powerful items that if you got one slightly thing wrong, just look what happens all the time. It's usually the mythic item is why something's OP. So hopefully with that going away, it'll be a good thing. So it's kind of going back to what League used to be, which, as you all know, I'm a nostalgia person with League of Legends. If they make the game what it used to be, I'm happy. So yeah. But let's get into the actual kind of scheduling changes and stuff like that. So, big thing, the current ranked split. So the ranked season that we're in right now is now being extended, when normally it would have finished in November. Right now it's being continued to January 3rd, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, you have longer to climb to the rank you want in this rank split. The next thing is, though, the preseason, which they are kind of not calling it preseason anymore because it's not on the live servers. Season 2024 updates are going on the PBE at the normal time. So November 20th, you can log on the PBE and experience all the changes. So that's where the item changes and stuff will drop first, is purely on the PBE. The gameplay changes, though, to live server will be launching on January 9th. The ranked split 1 will be now starting January 9th. So what does this mean? Just very basic. It means for the average League of Legends player, there is no longer a preseason. So historically, in November, roughly the 20th, usually in the teens, to be honest, ranked would end for the year. Their big update would happen. And then for kind of the end of November to the beginning of January, there is not an active ranked season. It's all about the testing towards the upcoming ranked season. I have kind of mixed opinions about this. So on the first hand, I think, you know, it sounds weird to say, as a content creator, it's actually kind of good for me because people stopped. Oh, Tryroxo, 25 months of Prime. Thanks so much, my dude. People stopped watching during preseason time, you know? They just lost interest. Oh, ranked isn't up right now. As a content creator, trying to work out what I actually want to do was actually quite hard. Each year, I'm like, right, what thing do I have to do for basically 2 months to try and keep people interested? And just to put the point as well, I know it's not the most important, but November, December for a YouTuber are the highest earning months historically, because it's kind of the ad revenue leading up to Christmas. So it was always really bad for League YouTubers. And I know some obviously League YouTubers really embraced like testing everything out that's coming in preseason, but it still doesn't have the actual ranked excitement of getting ranks like within a ranked season, you know? Departed, thank you much, dude, for the 40 months with tier 1, says plebs. So on the one hand, I'm happy that preseason's kind of gone, because it means my actual ranked climb will be happening all through November, all through December. You know, when I obviously prepare content to go away to visit family, you'll be having literal ranked content. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. So on that half, I think it's good. What then concerns me is there's a reason that Riot, for the most part, did 2 months of actual testing, because a lot of the changes that they made require testing. And yeah, people go, oh, it's on the PBE, right? Riot themselves have admitted the PBE is not a place that they actual test things. It's more of a, oh, will this break the game? Like, implementing that, does it make everybody disconnect? Does it break people's graphics cards? That's more what the PBE is actually for. So unless they're going to try and reinvent the PBE, I'm a little bit worried, hilariously, about balance. My only guess, and I will say this, is this could be the start of Riot making not very large changes, that they're going to get rid of mythics, they go away, so then they kind of put the game, dare I say, in maintenance mode for the next few years, and then the balance isn't as big of an issue because they're not making these crazy big changes that a normal preseason is needed to test everything for. So that's my only big concern. But let me know what you think. I will look at Twitch chat at the end more. But yeah, so split 1, January the 9th is when the season's beginning, and then split 2 begins in May, and then split 3 begins in September. And then presumably the same will happen next year, so then it will be a September till January season, and then split 1 will happen again in January all the way in 2025. So yeah, right. What led to the decision? Let's see what they think, because I will just say, for the most part, on social media, on Reddit, etc., it seems like a lot of people might share the opinion with me. Items changing is good. Preseason is, people are a bit indifferent about it. Fair enough. the fact that there's 3 rank splits, yeah, we haven't really spoken about that yet, but I'm not a big fan of that. And hilariously, it's not going to impact me much, and this is kind of the point. I play right now League of Legends as my proper job. I stream it on average 5 days a week. You know, it's not going to impact me because I play a lot of League of Legends compared to the average player. But when you're telling the average player, oh, your rank's going to reset 3 times next year, I actually think that's really demoralizing rather than the opposite. I actually think most players are going to go, I can't be bothered. Like, I'm going to climb back up, and then by the time I don't have much time to play, by the time I'm getting to that rank finally that I want to get, I'm going to reset again. So I honestly think they might... I could see them, if the backlash is as bad as what it currently is already, I could see them toning down and just staying with 2. Or 1 technically. In this season that we're in right now, season 2023, there's 1 rank, 2. At the beginning of the year, we get a rank change, obviously with the start of the season, and then in the middle of the year, we got 1, and then until the end of the season. That is okay, you could say. I could see them backtracking, going from all these big resets to then just currently what we've got now. I think what we've got now is okay. I still don't really think it's needed. You know, when the reset happened, I don't know if anybody else was like what I was. There didn't really feel much of a change. Like, it sounds weird to say, but if they were coming in and going, yeah, it's a proper reset, I'd feel kind of better about it. But because it's such a soft reset, in my mind, I'm like, well, what's the point then? Like, there isn't much point. I don't know, but let me know what you think. But anyway, so we split this year, 2023 season, into 2 splits to make ranked meaningful across the year. So there's a proper reason why Riot's doing this, and we'll see if they actually say it, but they probably won't. But rather than players plateauing halfway through and either leaving ranked or switching to Smurfs, or the other one is stop playing League of Legends, with the mid-year reset behind us, more players are still playing ranked in the current middle of the year window than in previous years. By adding November and December to the season and shifting 3 4-month splits, we think we'll see even more improvements. So just to make it very clear, Riot isn't doing this for a game health reason. Riot is doing this for a business statistical reason of player numbers. So every, obviously, board of directors in a games company wants to see their game doing well pretty much 12 months a year all the time. You know, that's what they demand and that's what they want. And with League of Legends, it was very obvious that there was a big peak at the beginning of a season and a big peak at the end of the season. So what Riot did in this season we're in now, you add a split in the middle, and then what's happened, so you have a big peak at the beginning of a season, split 1, and then you have a big peak at the end of split 1, and then you remain people coming and playing at the beginning of split 2, and then people will play a lot at the end of split 2, so the beginning of ends. So what Riot's hoping is, if we add another split, well, that's another point that people are going to continue playing, and where's the gap? People won't have enough time to take time off because, you have to keep playing because there's going to be a reset in 2 months. You need to keep playing to get the rank that you want. So in essence, this is Riot trying to force people, and it is the word force, they're trying to force people to play League of Legends more. That's what it is. You know, we can't hide around it. That is what they want. So yeah, like, you can't blame them. You know, it's for the same reason why World of Warcraft has got a lot of daily quests in it. They want you to log in every single day. Every game, you know, why is there a battle pass in games? Why are there daily quests even in Call of Duty? You know, throw 5 grenades that day, 3 headshots the next day. It's trying to keep you logged into their game. Like, that's what games want. And with League of Legends, they saw major dips, and this is what they're trying to do to unforce the dips, basically. So I can't blame them, but I think League of Legends, hilariously, and this is where I sometimes get annoyed, is everyone that I've seen about this, some people are annoyed, some people aren't. They're saying like, oh, when Apex Legends did this, I actually stopped playing ranked because it was disinteresting that you're trying to force me to play it. I think a part of the appeal to League for a lot of people was the fact that the ranked season was so long. You know, if you look at TFT is in like season 8 or 9 or whatever it is, and it's only been out for a few years. It's really fast seasons. But I think the appeal to League was people could be like, right, I'll play League here. I'll come back in 2 months and I'll continue my same ranked climb. I think that was kind of the appeal. And I don't think Riot gets that. Like, I know Riot is not going to want people to go away for a month or two and play different games. But that's what a lot of people did with League of Legends historically. When a big game came out, you'd have League of Legends as your kind of grounding game. Oh, Baldur's Gate 3's come out. Okay, cool. I'm going to go play that. And then I'll come back in a month and I'll continue my ranked climb and I'll play that again for another few weeks. And then another game comes out. But League was your kind of grounding game that you always came back to. Doing this and forcing people to play more, it's becoming less of a grounding game. That's the problem. So some people will just get rid of League as their grounding game because it's like, well, you're trying to force me to play it too much. I don't have time with all these ranks resets. So I think it could backfire a bit. But yeah. So, for example, there's a subset of players who only play ranked and nothing else. Yeah, that's pretty much me. Giving them missing 2 months. Giving them missing 2 months lets them play League year round. So that's, again, they're literally saying what they want. For everyone else, having more splits in a year also makes it easier to take a break, which is not true. For a few months and skip a split. So that's what Riot is saying. When normally people will be like, right, I'm dipping a month or I'm dipping 2 months to play something else. I'll come back. Riot is saying, oh, you could just not play for a split. But that's not going to feel good. Like, that's the thing that I think Riot's missing. Like, when you play ranked and you have like, oh, what season, like on your profile right now, you have what you hit last split or what you hit last rank season. And there's a victorious skin. There's all these reasons that you want to hit these ranks and want to keep playing. But if Riot's like, oh, no, you could just skip a split if you want to. But then when that player comes back, then they're suddenly going to have a, you know, oh, what was your rank last split? Unranked, you didn't play. But that's feeling a bit, you know, meh. Or, oh, that victorious skin, oh, you didn't get that because you didn't play. There's all these things that you're then going to be kind of punished for by having time off, where before you weren't really punished for having time off. So I don't know, that feels a bit weird to me. So having 3 rank splits also gives us 3 points in the year that we can make bigger changes to the core gameplay without disrupting in-progress crimes. The mid-season style patch will come at the start of the second split, responding to large issues with season start changes and make a wider health improvements like 2022's durability patch. The third split will be smaller changes given proximity to worlds. So yeah, well, that's what they're saying. At the start of split 1 is all the big changes that they want to make for a start of a rank season. The start of split 2 is the equivalent of the mid-season patch. So they always kind of fix things from the beginning of a rank season. And then the start of split 3, hopefully the game's in an okay relative health, but we're going to start skewing things to worlds because that will be in the next month or two. So I don't know. The change also starts everyone on the same page at the beginning of the year. One of the side effects of preseason is when January rolls out, some players have already gotten a handle on. That's not what. Okay, so yeah, they're basically saying everyone starts on an even playing field, but that isn't true. I'll say why in a second. But anyway, so one of the side effects preseason, when January rolls out, some players have already gotten a handle on the new changes, while others are experiencing them for the first time. By launching changes at the start of the year, everyone establishes a new meta together. Yeah, that's not true. Literally not true. Why? It's actually going to be worse now. So before, when preseason was on live servers for 2 months, if you were just playing League of Legends, even if you're playing ARAM and there's new items, you'd be experiencing all the new stuff. Bouncy Baron, so much for the 26 months of Prime. But yeah, you'd be experiencing all the new stuff, whether you're playing ranked or not. If you're playing ARAM, you're playing normals, whatever, you'd be experiencing the changes. But now that the changes literally do not come to live servers only until a few days before the ranked season starts, where are all these changes going? The PBE, the public beta environment. Not everybody has got a PBE account, and even people with PBE accounts, not everybody is going to go play on the PBE. So the players that do have PBE accounts and players who do commit time to go practice the new stuff and get used to it on the PBE, you're giving them a bigger advantage than they used to be. So that's a weird thing to say. Like, they don't even think they mention it here. They don't. So yeah, I don't love playing on the PB because the lag for us Europeans, we get like 150 ping, but I will play on the PBE definitely in this upcoming winter time because I'm going to get used to it. It's the equivalent of if you're a high rating player or whatever and you're not reading patch notes, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. Why wouldn't you go play on the PBE now? Everyone can get one. Not true. Calista the Jungler, 51 months of Prime. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But yeah, no, not everyone can get one. So I actually don't know if it's open right now, but PBE invitations to get accounts are not always open. I don't even know if they're open or not right now. The last time people were checking, they were not open. So I don't even know if they're open right now. Secondly, and I know people are like, well, that's their fault. You can't get a PBE account if you have under level 2 honor. And well, thirdly, what we've already mentioned, the PBE, yes, it's an advantage to play on it and get used to it, but it's not a great server to do it. Riot themselves, as we've mentioned earlier, do not use the PBE as proper balance. They don't really pay attention to it much. But then also, the lag obviously is going to make it awful for certain players. So I don't know, like, this doesn't seem like a great explanation is what I would say. But anyway, so last, we think players will be excited to have opportunity to earn 3 victorious skins a year. See, this is the problem. Oh, there's no more. Okay. Well, okay, I stand corrected. Apparently, you can now, everybody can sign up to a PB. I have no idea when they actually did that. But there you go. You can get a PB account. I still think you need over on the level 2, but that's good. So, okay, that's a good point. Now everyone can have a PB account, but still, not everybody's going to. Not everybody's going to download a separate version of League of Legends. Not everyone's going to commit to playing on the PB, where before you just play League of Legends in those 2 months and you'll be getting used to it. That's the thing. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what I think about that. But this point as well, we think players will be excited to have opportunity to earn 3 Victoria skins. I'm not, personally. A Victoria skin in my mind was something to aim for. Back in the day, obviously I've been Diamond since season 3, but they were special. I think that's the only way that I can explain a Victoria skin, is they felt special. 1 per year, which champions are going to be. 3 per year really diminishes what Victoria skins are. They don't feel as much of a, hey, look, you got that Victoria skin. I don't know, like, if I still to this day see someone with like Victorious Jan or a Victorious Jarvan, that's special. The having 3 per year to me is going to make it a lot less special. But yeah, let me know what you think of that one. But we'll see. And then by moving the gameplay changes to launch alongside Ranked this year, we ensure the season start is the most exciting time to play League, and Ranked is even more, albeit potentially chaotic, playing field. Yeah, it is going to be definitely more chaotic. That's the thing. Managing risks. So all that said, we're keenly aware of launching our biggest gameplay changes at the start of the ranked season raises many risks. Before committing to this shift, we identified and assessed these biggest ones. So ranked and esports stability. So the most obvious risk is to discuss how we'll ensure ranked and pro play are in a good place. Again, who cares about pro play? But at the start of the year, we're putting the gameplay changes on PB early, aiming for November 20th to give us time to adjust before launch. We're also putting them on tournament realms so pros can practice on the changes before the season starts. That's good, to be fair. I don't know if I'll be allowed. I've got a tournament realm account. I wonder if I'd be able to allow, like, if I would be allowed to play on tournament realm myself. I have a tournament realm account, but yeah, I might ask Riot about that, because that would be interesting. Historically, the first patches of the year are typically high disruption while we stabilize the game, so we don't expect 2024 to be drastically different compared to past years. Once we return in January, we'll make a sweep of final tuning changes prior to 14.1 shipping, and quickly follow the patch with balance updates based on the first few days of the season. After that, we'll remain open to later adjustments. Okay, so basically they're committing to, we know it's going to be crazy, but we'll be on it and we'll make changes. Boom. So yeah, who would I play with? Pros. So on the tournament again, I don't even know if you're allowed to talk about Tournament Realm. Tournament Realm is a different client altogether. That's mainly for pros, but it's also for certain events. And obviously, I've been in Twitch Rivals. I've been in other events, other background stuff. It's also the same client that they play on when it comes to LCS and LEC, but they play on a LAN version of it, where obviously the Tournament Realm is an online version of it. And basically, you go on it. It looks like the League client in many ways, but you can't just click play and then start and search for a game because there might only be like 10 people online. So basically, it's all done through custom games, and it's where pro teams scrim each other, for example. So I have gone on the tournament realm before and looked on the custom game list, and there's Fanatics scrimming G2 or whatever. It's right there. So potentially with all this, they it's not just going to be potentially for scrims. I imagine they're going to just have open lobbies if you've got a tournament realm account. I imagine you'll be able to just go on and maybe jump into some custom games, but that would be interesting. I don't know if I'd be able to film it, but that would be kind of cool. I'll definitely ask Riot about that. But anyway, responding to feedback. Anytime we make large gameplay changes, we want to make adjustments based on your feedback. And because the preseason changes are shifting to the start of ranked and will primarily be tested on PBE, which isn't great, we want to explain how feedback will be handled, since it may not be immediately lead to massive changes before things go live. So that's good that they're already saying, like, here we go. The feedback we're best able to act on is bug reports. After that, feedback on specific interactions can oftentimes be helpful. For example, between an item effect and a particular champ ability, or how stat adjustments affect things like Kai'Sa evolutions, these are pretty close to bug fixes, in the sense that they help us avoid abuse cases, unidentified interactions. So basically they're saying if you're on the PBE and you think something's broken, we can't really take your word for it. We're not going to really listen to if something's broken on the PBE, but if you have a bug, we'll listen to that. So that's basically what they're saying. The trickiest part of feedback is more qualitative thoughts of our headline features, like whether they feel fun, fair, better than before, or should exist in League at all. We use this feedback to tell us what we need to watch closely when changes ship, but generally don't react to it on the PBE. Yeah, they never have reacted to it on the PBE. That's why, many things, and they arguably should listen to the PBE a bit more when it comes to balance, because there's been many things, new champions, certain builds, a lot of these stuff first get discovered on the PBE, and people are, it's hard to, like, where do you officially put this? They got rid of the Riot boards, I guess Reddit or Twitter, but then it's just one voice saying, hey, I'm playing the new champion on the PBE, Zeri. Her AP scaling's insane. It's broken. Please nerf it before it goes to live. Riot just doesn't see it. That's part of the problem. And you can't, on the PBE, there's only submit a bug feature. There's not submit feedback of, like, balance. So, I don't know. So even in cases where PB feedback is loud, we want to see players everywhere play with the changes. Yeah, then that's also a thing. So that's them admitting, yeah, sometimes we have heard that everyone on the PB is saying it's broken or overpowered, but we're ignoring you because we want it to go to live and see what everyone else thinks, even though it's very obviously overpowered. So I would say that's not great by Riot. That may be a bit of ego, I don't know, but, like, if it's so obviously overpowered from the PBE, they should tone it down before it goes to live. That's the problem. And I would say they especially should, considering it's going to be the start of the ranked season without proper preseason testing. So that, I will say, worries me a bit. I can't lie. But yeah, that's weird. Reasons to play in November and December. So because ranked historically been offline in November and December, many players look forward to preseason's big gameplay shakeup to keep League interesting throughout the end of the year. Since preseason content is moving to the start of the year, here's what you have to offer. So, first, the current rank split will be extended to January. Secondly, if you specifically enjoy having something fun to do that isn't climbing the ladder, we're bringing Arena back for its second run in December. So, yeah, but Riot's basically saying, oh god, a large percentage of League, they just go away in November and December. How do we keep them about in November, December? Well, your current rank climb, keep going, try to get another rank. Or Arena's coming back in December, have fun. Yeah, we'll see. Rate of change across the year. So we mentioned this above. We want to reiterate that shifting to 3 splits and consolidating preseason in January doesn't mean we're going to ship 3 preseason size patches a year. We'll target a mid-season size patch for split 2 in May and something smaller that for split 3 in September. Having 3 known windows to make major fixes to the game ensures you'll never have to wait too long before we can act on game health issues. But that, again, it's always the problem. If we as a player base don't like something, doesn't actually mean Riot's going to fix it. Like, for example, if we're still in Split 1 next year thinking, hey, Riot, the damage is still really high, it's not a guarantee in Split 2 that they're going to fix it. Riot like having high damage now for some reason, so it's not a guarantee that they're going to fix it, is what I would say. And then removing a ranked ladder downtime while adding November and December to the ranked calendar will be exciting for ranked only players. Others may be worried about not having a clear don't play ranked window. We think having more frequent, shorter splits will make it easier to skip one and come back strong, but we'll watch during the current extended split and next year's split 3 to see how this holds up in practice. Yeah, I'm still not sold on 3 individual rank splits per year. That's too many. I think so many players are just going to get demoralized, like easily demoralized of, oh, I just got the rank that I've always wanted. And a week later, oh, I've got a reset. And then it takes a whole nother split to get back nearly to where you were before. And it's going to reset again. For the average casual ranked player, and I know that's a phrase that some people find weird, like ranked isn't casual. But a lot of ranked players do play, like, they don't want to play normals because at the end of a tough game of League of Legends, they want something to show for it. If you finish a normal game that was really rough, a 40-minute game, you got nothing to show for it. But at least in ranked, you get LP. I think a lot of people might be put against all these ranked splits. So my only hope and feedback is there's a lot of good things here. I hope they kind of go away from what they've said of, we're doing 3 individual rank splits. I think 2 is perfectly fine. Having a big update at the middle of the year, that's when you do the ranked split, and that's when you do a partial reset. Do that. Like, I think that's a lot healthier. But yeah. So the biggest shift to League of Legends annual structure we've ever made. We're excited for the benefits it offers, but we want to know change magnitude is always intimidating. We'll do our best to make transition as smooth as possible. So let me know what you think. This is quite a big update, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to have different opinions about it. And I would genuinely, if you're someone that's excited about the 3 rank splits, please let me know. So far, I actually haven't seen one person that is excited for having 3 rank splits. I don't know if anyone is, but if you are, please do let me know and why. I personally think 2 is okay, and I think that's a happy medium, because a lot of people still are like, why do we even have rank splits within a ranked year? So let me know what you think. Obviously, yeah, they didn't really talk about the items here. We mentioned at the beginning, I'm happy mythics are going away, but I'm not sold on a couple things. I'm happy as a content creator that preseason is going away, but I don't think it's going to be healthy for the game. So that's one thing I'll say. And then I'm just not sold on 3 rank splits. And it making it very clear, this is not my bias, because I'm a full-time streamer, content creator. I play a lot of leagues, so the rank splits, they don't impact me. I'm going to play anyway, but I think it's really bad for the average player of League. I don't think it's healthy for the average player. And Riot kind of trying to fob it off and be like, oh, you can just miss split 2 if you want. You don't have to play. That's not an answer. Like, basically Riot's answer to try and do something to make people play more, the reaction to that of people going, that's not great. Riot's response is, just don't play for a rank split. Just don't play our game. That kind of goes against what Riot's trying to do. But yeah, I don't know. But anyway, let me know what you think. If you guys enjoyed, do throw a like on it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like it, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Goodbye.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our glory.